Presence and absence are actually the same thing. Let's see it as a coin, okay? Presence is the top side and absence is the downside. So they have the same meaning, they're just opposite. So without the top side, there will be no downside, okay? For example, a relationship. It is really important to be present in the relationship, but also to have a little bit of absence to know that yes, it's a relationship between two people, but you're also an individual, okay? You need to do things by yourself, with yourself. Modern life often prioritizes action, how to take action, act on it, or act the minute that you get the thought. I've already talked about this in another video. And this is good, but it's also important to understand all the thought process that you went through before taking the action, because this is the moment of stillness that you had to understand why are you going to take certain action. For example, if you're an artist, you will understand this part. Sometimes to be creative is also to not do anything. And when you are not doing anything, it's when you are showered with thoughts. That's just how it is. So if you have the absence of creating, it's going to be better for your creation because you're balancing between creation and non-creation. You need to not create in order to have the ideas to create. The absence of something can actually enhance the presence of something. You didn't know you needed a piece of art, but then you knew when you met it, okay? So you needed to not have it to know that you needed it and have it. Does that make sense? I don't know how to express this in English, it's being so difficult to me. It's all about balancing the good things, the bad things, the things, and not having the things, okay? To have a positive outcome. For example, we can take this to a personal level. When you're talking to someone, you start talking and they're listening, you're balancing the conversation. Imagine if you were talking and the other person is also talking. It wouldn't make sense, right? And then they start talking and you start listening. So you're doing opposite things and making it have a balance. So the absence of speaking is actually balancing out the conversation. And it's being as important as talking, okay? Listening is as important as talking. So in mental health, you need to eventually not have everything all the time. You need to rest, you need to take breaks of being social, of exercising. You need to rest in order for your muscles to grow. Yes, as important as it is to lift weights, it's also important to rest. Let's say you have a business and you want to have a new employee that's an accountant, okay? But this person doesn't have the experience that you need, and also you're not sure about it. Missing the opportunity of having this person in your company is going to be a positive outcome. So you are having the absence of the action that you need to take, but you're having a positive outcome. Does that make sense to you now? You don't always need to take action to make a statement. Let's say you're a woman and you're fancying a man, okay? You're going out, you're talking to them. It's important to talk to them, but it's also important to withdraw your attention from them, because it's this time when they're going to think about you and think about their actions, if you know what I'm saying. So, yes, the action is important, but the absence of the action is just as important. So, there are going to be a lot of cultures that have different takes on actions and inactions, okay? Different values, you can say. Japanese people in Japan, they have this cultural emphasis on contemplation before taking an action, okay? They like to see, they like to observe before doing something. And I feel like this is a great example because you are not doing anything, you're actually thinking things through, okay? You're clearing up a space to have the action when you're not doing anything. There are times when we're anxious to do something. Okay, let's say someone got mad at you and you want them to not be mad at you. okay? So you want to text them, you want to go see them, you want to go talk to them. That's important. But if that person, if you know that person is going to be mad and is not going to actually resolve the problem, why not giving them time to think and not doing anything? That is probably going to have a better outcome than actually going up to them and talking to them before they even thought about the problem, about the issue. And I know most of you are going to struggle with inaction because you're anxious. I personally suggest for you to try this all the time, all the fucking time. For example, I had a really bad relationship with food, and every time I felt hungry, I would love to eat until I didn't have that feeling anymore. Like, not a bit. Okay, my tummy would hurt because I ate too much. And it is really important to understand that as soon as you get the thought, it doesn't mean that that time you need to take an action. You need to understand that you have two options, okay? One of them is doing it, and the other one is not doing it. You choose between those two. And sometimes not doing anything is the best option, believe me. It helps a lot with urgency, that anxiety of uncertainty. And I know that immediate action seems like the obvious route, the logical move to make, but it's not. It's not. Surprise, it's not. So stop being lazy, stop being indecisive, stop filling up those societal expectations, those needs that you made up in your head, and start being consistent with what you need to do and what you don't need to do, okay? Sometimes not doing anything is the best option, believe me, and it's as important as doing it. So I have chose many times stillness instead of taking an immediate action in things, because I decide to step back, meditate, or simply do nothing. For example, I liked someone. I have liked someone for a long time. And most of the times that I was really close to tell them, I realized that if I just stay still and let those thoughts sink in my head, I would actually realize that I don't like them. I am just attracted, really attracted to them, but I don't like them. Like, if they told me, oh, I like you too, it would be ruined. It would be the end of it, okay? I would be like, what? You like me? Shut up. Like that, you know? So the absence of me telling them that I like them actually helped me clear my mind, clear my thoughts, and have a deeper insight of what was actually going on in my head. Because most of the time, it was not it, okay? I still like that person, and when I get that rush of adrenaline of, I don't know, everything, it's like, oh my god, I'm so in love with this person. I'm not. I'm not. I don't do anything, okay? When I get those things, those actions that I feel I need to do them with rush, I choose not to do them because I'm letting myself be guided by my instinction other than being a rational human being. And that sounds harsh, but it's the truth. So be present before taking action, be present before making a decision, and think deeply, okay? Do I need to do something about this? Or am I just rushing into doing something because of pressure that I'm putting into myself? Okay? And that's all that I have to say to you today. Do you really need to do that? Do you really need to make that decision right now? Or can you make it tomorrow?